What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Matt Ramage Show. That is me. And I am here today, known on Instagram, Mr. Ivan Lyers. How are you doing today, man?
I'm doing great on this Wednesday night, fella. Doing wonderful.
So tonight we're gonna talk about the Packers. They're at OTAs. Talk about that Packer Bear rivalry. The Packers are 10-0 against the Bears, but don't tell Bears fans, they don't even know about it. But we'll talk about all that and hammer the comment section because we are going to be responding to people, be part of the conversation and whatnot. It's gonna be a good night, you know what I mean? But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Quick Trip, sponsoring the show as always, and they got some good stuff. We got Memorial Weekend coming up, right? So Quick Trip is trying to pay you to drink beer. You know what I mean? You buy beer at Quick Trip for Memorial Weekend, and you are getting a deal on some gasoline. If you buy 2 Budweiser, Bud Light, or Michelob Golden Light 24 or 30 packs, earn 50 cents per gallon. That's 520 to 527. Bush Light 30 packs, earn 50 cents per gallon. Buy 2 Miller Lite 18 packs, earn 40 cents per gallon. The same with Coors Light 18 packs. So just go out Quick Trip. You're going to be buying some beer anyways. Take advantage of these deals and save on fuel. You know what I mean? Make sure you're using the Quick Rewards app so you're getting all that. You know what I mean? So big shout out to Quick Trip. I didn't screw that up. Whenever I try to say something that's actually real, I always screw it up. But big shout out to Quick Trip sponsoring us. And we're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about the Packers. But first of all, I haven't talked to you in a little bit, man. How have you been?
I've been great, man. I've been paying attention to the Packers. Here's the thing that I feel really good about is the culture of this team. And you referenced this last year when you said there was no quit in this team. Yeah. There is a hunger in this team. There's excitement in this team, and there's a culture in this team. They seem very bonded. They seem like they're very excited to get going and get into work. There's a feeling in the air. Dare I say, 14-time world champion is coming. I feel pretty strongly about that. But yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. And summer's doing good. Couple storms last night. Hopefully you weathered it well in your area. We did fine here.
Yeah, you got those big trees over there. Yeah, the storm, my wife is all worried about it. I went to sleep. It was fine. I survived it. It wasn't too crazy around my parts. But yeah, like you talked about this team. I want to show a video real quick and talk about this because I do feel like this team is hungry. Like this Packers team, dude, I say it's like every year, but I don't think I've ever been excited about a season. I feel like this team is just like they're ready. But let me show you this video right here. This is I believe Keyshawn Nixon. Wrong video.
Many people here, for what is essentially still a voluntary workout. That's nice to see.
I feel like we let a team off the hook last year in the playoffs, and we know that. And everybody on this team here for a mission, and we ready to win a Super Bowl. So we all here locked in, and it showed that we ain't nothing to play with.
I love that video, and big shout out to Cheesehead TV. I ripped that from their Instagram. But I feel like that's the they have near 100% people showing up for voluntary workouts. So I feel like this whole team is dialed in. They all know that they were close last year, and this is the year. Right here, let's do it. So I feel like this whole team is dialed in. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I do believe that. And I'll go back to what Keyshawn Nixon said. I don't think the Packers got beat by the 49ers. I think the Packers made the mistakes to let the 49ers win. And I think if Packers went to Detroit, I think it was a game over. I really do believe that in my heart of hearts. I think they have the talent and the skill. And here's the thing, right? They are the youngest, still one of the youngest teams in the NFL. This offense, and they're coming back strong. I mean, even Christian Watson, and I know there's a lot of things that can happen. Injuries can happen. All those other things can happen. But here's the deal. We have a receiving room that, again, it seems like nobody wants to give it credit. But think about the receiving room we have now with Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Malik Heath. We can just keep going, right? And we still have Samori Toure. We just caught a 70-yard bomb from Jordan Love in the first day, right? So it's all there in front of us. Plus the 2 tight ends, and our running back room now is insane. So the Packers are going to be a force to be dealt with, and somehow we're not getting that pub yet. By week 4, the writing will be on the wall, and people, will serve notice to the rest of the NFL.
Yeah, that's the thing. With the wide receiving group, they're not really getting the love, but I don't think that that'll happen until like they like pop off. Because I was taking something today and someone said it was like the top wide receiver groups and the Packers were like real low. It's like, dude, but the Packers don't have like that top dude that is like they do, like a Devontae Adams, Christian Watson. People expect him to be that dude. He had some injuries. Like this year, if they ball out again, I don't care if it's one person though. Like let's spread it around. Like do what you gotta do. Whatever gets the ball in the end zone. But I think I definitely agree that people are going to start seeing that this offense is legit. I know that Jacobs, I think he had like a hamstring at OTAs. I don't think it's a big thing. It didn't sound like it. I'm not no reporter, but yeah, like get through all this stuff without injuries, because like especially those hamstring injuries. Packer fans, they hear hamstring injuries, they start going into like relapse. You know what I mean? So hopefully everything is good there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. And again, I think we have the bench strength now, right? Next man up. I really believe we are in a wild depth situation. Again, the Green Bay Packers have the lowest paid receiving core like in the NFL. There's like 32 receivers who make more than the entire receiver room in Green Bay right now. That's insane.
And that's how you got to get going.
And the talent level is there. So we got about 1 or 2 years left with this before everybody starts getting priced out, right? And there's only going to be so many people we can sign. So at that point, it's going to be a little bit different. But I think, the writing's on the wall. Again, I think the team is going to be insane. I keep using that term because I think that's what it's going to be.
Yeah, I think like the defense is like a whole other thing, but this offense, I feel like it's going to be so good. I'm really jacked up about this offense. We have a good question here from Jay Gibson. He says, what do you guys think about the new NFL optical rule to make sure it's a first down? What do you say about that? So that's today, for people who don't know, the NFL, I read a little bit about it. They came out like they're going to put something in the ball, so it'll be more like computerized, like where they know for sure that it's a first down. I don't know all the details with it yet, so I didn't like read all up on it. But I think that's interesting to like, so that it's not like an eye test, especially if a ref has eyes like me. You might not want that, but if they can get it closer to like being like, this is a first down and it doesn't take time, I assume that it'll be quicker too, because they can. We'll see like what it is. I'm not against it, like if it works.
No, same for me. If it's appropriate, right, and it's doing the right thing for the game and keeping it legitimate, and use the digital technology as well as you can to make sure it keeps things fair and correct.
Yeah, because like they're on the same technology since like forever ago. So like I get like using all that stuff. I think it'll be good. But what else? Let's get some of the comments. Wendy says we are going to the bowl this year. Bet. I totally agree. But let me ask you about this. We were talking about the offense, but what about the defense? We got McKinney back there at safety. I think this defense is lined up. Like I think Rashawn Gary is going to have a big year. I'm excited to see like what this defense is. It going to be more, aggressiveness? They can be playing up a little bit more. What are your thoughts on the defense? What are you thinking?
Well, I say this respectfully. It can't get any worse than what it was. I think Jeff Hatley is going to be a big upgrade. I think he has the knowledge and the ability to put all the talent that we've drafted over the last 5 years to work. I think the 4-3 is going to be a big upgrade as well. To your point, I see Kenny Clark having a big year. I see Devontae Wyatt having a big year. I see Quay Walker having a big year. I see the new kid, the linebacker we drafted, having a big year. And the secondary is a lot better than we're giving it credit for. Yes, we have some needs at corner, but you still got to remember, we still got Jair. And I know he's been off, right? He's had some bad games. Let's call it out what it was last year. But there was a lot of defensive linemen that were not right either. So at the end of the day, the defense is going to be much improved. How improved and where it needs to align yet is, remains to be seen. But I'm very confident that, that's why I feel very strong about the 14-3 record I predicted for this year. That the defense is going to be there to make that happen as well. So,
yeah, and this comment right here is huge. Justin says, "I'm hoping Van Ness takes a big step forward this year, and we get to see full potential." Yeah, I'm excited about him too. I feel like the linebacker situation is good. Who do you think like on the team? Is there anyone on the team that you think like benefits from it being a 4-3, like a Rashawn Gary or anyone who's already on the team?
Well, I think Quay Walker is going to benefit from his speed and his, sideline to sideline skills. I think he's going to have a really big year. I think Wyatt, on the defensive line is going to have a really big year. And Van Ness, again, it's all kind of pecking order, right? Depending on who's playing well, because Van Ness is still trying to break the starting lineup, right? You got to remember there's people in front of him now. So we may or may not get to see him depending on who's playing in front of him. But I see those guys, having really big games this year. I could see the secondary, quite honestly, McKinney. I think we're going to have more turnovers this year on defense than we probably had in the last 5 years. I could see a ton more interceptions. I could see a ton more strip sacks. Those kinds of things happening. But the speed of our defense is what's really intriguing and what's going to happen. And somebody like a Quay Walker's got wheels, and he's going to have that ability to go sideline to sideline and get in that 4-3. And that's going to be something to watch. So I'm pretty excited for what that looks like.
Yeah, and like Quay Walker, like I'm a big Quay Walker fan. I know like he made some mistakes early on, and people like really gave it to him, and they were like so hard, especially on social media, kind of just gave up on him. But he came back. He had himself a year. I'm excited to see what he does in this new defense. I really feel like this defense, because every year, like, whenever, especially when a new defensive coordinator comes in or like something happens, they sign a guy like, oh, the defense will be so good this year. And like every year I've been all in like, oh, this defense is going to be great. And then they end up not being so great, or like they have like peaks, but they're not consistent. They're kind of up and down. So like this year, I hope I'm right. I got to be right eventually, right? It's going to be a top 5 defense. I really think it will be. I feel like the guys obviously didn't trust Joe Barry. They didn't maybe believe in it at the end, whatever. There was some stuff happening there inside that locker room. I don't know what it is. Nobody does. Nobody ever will, besides the guys that were there. But I feel like from what they're saying, they all are like buying in, like they're in with it. So hopefully they can get it going. And now, like with the McKinney, I feel like is a huge signing. And I'm not someone who's like real knowledgeable about him beforehand, because I'm not like some NFL guru. But he's one of the best from like what a lot of people say. And if they shore up that safety position, dude, I think this Packers defense is going to be legit.
Yeah, I would, again, I think we're 100% aligned. A lot of things can happen, to your point, injuries or things didn't work out. But here's the thing again about this team is the culture is there. And I keep referencing what you said last year, because you had a post where you said there's no quit in this team. Even when we lost, there was no quit in the team. They didn't hang their heads, right? There was one game we can remember from last year was the Detroit game at home, where they kind of looked like they just lost it, right? Otherwise, every single game, even when we played bad, the Raider game, the Falcons game, right, where we didn't play well, we were still in the game, and there was still a ton of effort. And that speaks to what's happening. When you talk about a Joe Barry, the team was still playing hard. Now they're just getting the right coaching in place to apply it. And that's the thing. So we didn't have lazy players. We didn't have a bad attitudes and cultures on the team last year. We just had some bad coaching, and just call it what it is. But man, and even LaFleur in the beginning with Jordan Love, right? I think he was calling plays in a safe way and not letting Jordan Love be Jordan Love. So I think there's two sides to that, because Jordan Love started coming into his own, and you got to give him his due credit for that. Everybody said, well, it's some sort of fluke. Now, listen, 9 games is not a fluke. 9 games of kicking everybody's ass is not a fluke. And people need to understand that was not no fluke.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Everybody's saying that like it's a fluke. Like Jordan Love played as good as like some of the top people, like on it was an 8 or 9 game stretch. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but very few people have done like what he did. And he's not done yet, but that's just the first year starting. So all these people, most people who are saying, well, now they're going to have tape on Jordan Love and now they're going to stop him. But like they didn't have tape again in the Cowboys game in the playoffs. And then the same people who are saying like, oh, it was just the Cowboys, that nothing drives me nuts more than that. Because even like when I talk about the Packers being 10-0 against the Bears, they're like, yeah, well, it's the Bears. But like people picked the Packers to lose, especially against the Cowboys. They picked the Packers to lose. And then after the Packers go in there and win and dominate, Jordan Love's first playoff game ever, dominates, and it wasn't just him, it was the whole team. And then they're like, well, it was just the Cowboys. They always choke in the playoffs. Like no one ever wants to give Jordan Love, and not just Jordan Love, but this team it's due. I think Matt LaFleur is a great coach. I saw some bogus stuff on Twitter today. The dude's talking about, I don't think he's good, and he relies on his quarterbacks. First of all, who doesn't rely on their quarterback? Belichick had Brady all those years. I don't think it's all Brady. It was both of them. It was a really good team, and that's what you need. Like with Favre and Holmgren, Rodgers with McCarthy for like not at the end as much, but like at the beginning. But like you just have like a quarterback and a head coach or whoever the offense is being controlled by is on the same page. They both have the same philosophy. They buy in. They hang out. They like each other. And I just think that Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, I think it's going to be a great thing. This offense, but like people were saying, and you said, it's so cheap right now. So it's kind of like the Seahawks back when they won a Super Bowl. Everyone's like on those rookie deals. The Packers are on those rookie deals. They're all going to grow together, to build together. This team is set up for the future, and they're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm just telling people. People say I say it every year. I didn't say it last year, but I did probably say it every year besides last year. But I do think the Packers are going to be in position. It's not going to be easy. The NFC North. So let's talk about that. The NFC North. How do you see the NFC North on the pecking order?
Well, let's start with this.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, I think the Vikings. I think they have good coaching, but I think they got a ways to go. I don't think they have the talent that they need right now to get it done. JJ McCarthy, I don't think is going to be a strong starting quarterback, I should say. And again, it's just my opinion for whatever it's worth. The Bears, I want to, before I get to the Lions, I just want to say Bears and the national media and all these talking heads talking all this stuff. And I want to remind everybody last year when Rodgers got traded, I couldn't get Bear fan off of me. Bear fan was all over me. It's over. It's done. Rodgers is gone. It's over. And that first game, how we were going to get our butts kicked, and it was going to be horrible, and it was going to be terrible, and the Packers were going to get pounded. And then after the Packers dominated the Bears in that first game, I couldn't find a Bear fan. Couldn't find him. Looked for him. Looked everywhere. I was texting them, trying to find them. Say, hey, where you at? I just want to talk about this. And again, at the end of the year, even then, there was all this talk like, oh, this is going to be, Fields' game. This is going to be where he wins it. He's going to come in and boom. What do we do again? Bear fan, get yourself in order and understand where you are. You're nobody until you prove you're somebody. And at this point, you left last year as nobody, and you're going to start this year as nobody. Your draft pick doesn't matter to me. And again, you might want to fix your offensive line. Caleb Williams is going to learn how to run really fast for safety because he's going to get his head kicked in. Your offensive line is atrocious. Lions scare me. I respect them. The only thing that I have with the Lions that I think is their defense is still suspect. I know they drafted the cornerback right out of Alabama. We watched that happen right down at the draft party. Yeah. But here's the deal. They can be had. And Dan Campbell, the only thing I would say, Dan Campbell, I think he's done a tremendous job with the Lions. I have a lot of respect for the guy. But it seems like when he gets put into very difficult situations, very difficult coaching situations where he has to make the correct move, especially in the fourth quarter, he goes like gonzo nuts. I don't know what happens like against the 49ers because I was pulling for the Lions in the 49er game. I'm like, yeah, let's go Lions. I'll pull for you. And I don't know what the hell happened there, but that's the kind of stuff where I fear the Lions in the aspect of their talent and ability. I don't think the Packers can't beat them. I think the Packers can beat them. I think the Packers are going to lose one game to the Lions, and they're going to sweep the rest of the division.
There you go. I was reading this comment over here. I was listening though. But yeah, I talk about Campbell. I have a lot of respect for him, but like I feel like when he makes like those decisions, like go for it, because that's kind of like how he got there, and I get that. But like when it's those big, huge moments, then it's like sometimes you have to scale back a little bit. Sometimes you have to kick the ball. Sometimes you have to kick the field goal. But
sometimes
I wasn't rooting for the Lions. Like in that game, I was kind of like whoever won, whoever lost, I was gonna make fun of the other one. And like there was benefits for me because like the Niners, I don't like the Niners, and I like that the Niners, whenever they beat us, they never make it to Super Bowl because they're in my comments all the time, Niner fans. oh, we beat you, we own you, even though the record doesn't show that. But in the playoffs, they have shut the Packers down too many times. It hurts my feelings. But I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, I just I think that the Lions, they're good enough, but the Lions really don't scare me this year. I feel like they're not gonna get better. I feel like that was like their window. I still think that they're gonna be competitive. They're still gonna be in it for the division. I think the Packers are gonna win it, but they're definitely still gonna be in there. They're not gonna fall off. But I don't know. The Lions don't scare me as like one of the top teams in the NFL. Definitely in the NFC North. But Packers have to come out this year and beat the crap out of them. But I want to get to this comment over here. I saw one over here. Oh yeah, this one right here is good. He said, hey man, I work at the Packers Pro Shop and would be down to give you a discount. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. But here's a good one. How bad do you think the Packers will destroy the Bears this year? I think Caleb Williams is the next Jamarcus Russell. I don't know if he's the next Jamarcus Russell, and I will look forward to that discount. Let me know when you work. You know what I mean? But
can I come with? I want to come with when you get the discount.
I don't think he's the next Jamarcus Russell, but I think that he's so hyped up. It's not even really his fault, but even some of the stuff he says, I don't even feel bad for him. Like Justin Fields, I like Justin Fields. Even when he's with the Bears, I really didn't have a lot of hate for Justin Fields. Now he's in Pittsburgh. I hope he gets a starting job. I hope he can show the Bears that he was that dude. We'll see. But Caleb Williams, I don't think that he's all that in a bag of chips like everyone's talking about. Anytime you turn it, dude, they want Chicago sports because Chicago's huge. Chicago sports is huge. They want the Bears to be good so bad. They got Caleb Williams. Yeah, I don't think that he's going to be a bust. I don't think he's going to be a bum, but I have no faith that the Bears are going to know how to coach him or going to know how to put him in position to win. I don't think he can do it on his own. Like you talk about, they have like some weapons over there, but I think a lot of people are more impressed with those weapons than I am. And the offensive line, like you mentioned, the Bears don't worry me at all. The Vikings don't worry me at all. The Lions, I got respect for them. I just don't think that they're going to be like dominant where there's going to be like, oh no, it's the Lions. I think that they're going to be a good football team, but not like, people act like the Lions like the Chiefs, like they're like a big powerhouse. They're a good football team, especially like they got balls, like they'll go for it. And that is like even playing mad with someone and they go for it on fourth down and they get it, dude. It's nothing more irritating. So like I like that, but like when it comes to the big time game, I feel like sometimes they just you gotta like just submit a little bit. All right, we'll get to a couple more of these comments here. Ryan says, as of right now, what do you think the Packers will do record-wise upcoming season? I think it's gonna be like 14 wins. What did you say?
I had 14-3 as well.
14, right?
Yep, 14-3. I think they have the division wrapped up by week 14.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting how this division goes because maybe the Bears do some stuff. I just don't feel like that, like it's gonna happen. I don't feel like the Bears. I don't think that they're gonna absolutely suck because how many games did they win last year? Then they
7.
Win 8? 7.
7.
Yeah. So I feel like they got a team, but it's not like they're gonna be like a 2-win team. I think it'll be interesting to see how Caleb Williams does though, because there's a lot of pressure on him, like way too much pressure. Even like Peyton Manning, like his first year, he was supposed to be great. He didn't play great. He threw like the most interceptions in the league, and he ended up being all right. But I just don't feel like, I don't know. Caleb Williams isn't someone I'm too worried about. I don't know. I should have put that up there, but I'll stop by. I'll stop. I'm always at the Packer Pro Shop. It is funny that whenever I go to the Packer Pro Shop, a lot of the people that work there, I won't say a lot, but there's been a few times where like people recognize me. I'm like, give me a discount right now. Get out of here. You're not Charlie Barron's. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I got the Barron's brandy right here. I do want to talk about that. I don't think I really talked about it. I went over and met up with Ed the Diver, Charlie Barron's, Ryan Rubel was there, who I know really good. It was cool to meet Ed the Diver. He does some good stuff. For people who don't know, he like cleans up the water. He goes diving. He cleans up, lures and all types of stuff out of the rivers. But I met Charlie Barron's, and I'll say this because like Charlie Barron's is professional comedian, solo at the Resch Center. He like sells out places. He's tours. He does all types of good stuff. I told Charlie Barron's a joke, which is like the dumbest joke ever, which is hilarious to me because I didn't plan it or whatever. Obviously, we're walking towards the water. Charlie Barron's, they all got their scuba gear on. I'm not scuba. I'm cleaning up, garbage on the outside. I wasn't going in the water. So we're walking towards the water, and a joke popped in my head. I said, "Hey, Charlie, want to hear a joke?" And he's like, "Sure." I said, "You know why scuba divers always fall backwards outside of the boat?" And then he's like, "No, why?" I said, "Because if they fell forward, they'd still be in the boat." And then it's kind of like he gave me like a cheesy laugh, kind of like but like I heard that joke like forever ago. So I told him, I was like, "Hey, that's not my joke, first of all. I heard that a long time ago." And he goes, "You hear that, folks? He's not taking credit for that one." I thought it was the funniest thing because that's a joke I decided to tell when I was talking with a comedian.
He's a good guy, though, eh?
No, he is actually good. That's what I think is cool. Like meeting guys like Ed the Diver too. He's just like a real dude. He's just trying to do good things. He's just trying to have fun. He likes diving. He cleans up the rivers. Same with Charlie. Like everyone, like when Charlie Barron's is around, like everyone shows up. Like the cops, there's firemen, there was people. He went to the police station and talked to the cops after. Like Charlie's a good dude. He just does. He's just hilarious. But he does a lot of good stuff for the community. People love him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But anyways,
yeah.
That's good stuff. All right, so let's get back to some of these comments that kind of got derailed there. Here we go. What's up, Tracy? Says, "Yeah, I made the live. Hey, Matt, so excited about the season. We have a great shot to make it all the way. Need tickets to the Rams game." Yeah, I saw a lot of people are going to that Rams game.
LA?
Yeah, I don't have a schedule right here to see, like, is that an away game over there? But
yeah, it's in LA.
Do you have any plans to go into games this year?
Me?
Just kind of
no, you know what I do. You know my gig. I have a Bloody Mary before noon, and I'll be in front of my fireplace in the winter and fall, right? Drinking, and been to many games in my lifetime, though. A lot of them, some really bad ones. I sat through the '80s, people. Every single game.
What's the one game that sticks out? Is there any of the iconic games you've been to?
The Monday Night Football game versus the Washington Redskins.
Yeah,
Packers won.
that one.
On the Miss Mosley kick. I was there. So that was great. Lynn Dickey was on fire. Lynn Dickey was great.
I was alive then, but I have no memory of any of those 80s games.
In the Tampa Bay Snow Bowl game. So yeah, I was there too for that. We were taking cardboard from the top of the stadium and riding down the steps. It was awesome. Packers won 21-0.
No kidding. That's awesome. I've never been to like one of the iconic games. I've been to like, I mean, I don't know how many games I'm gonna go to this year. I might hit like 2 or 3, but I'm gonna do a lot of live streams this year in my basement. We're getting that all fixed up. All right. So now let's go down to the comment. Justin says, "I think we can all agree Packers played loose last year because they had no pressure or expectations of I fully expect them to fold this year, just like they do every year. They have expectations." That comment switched to the end. You had me in the first half. I respect that. No, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I think that the Packers defense, there are expectations. I think that there was high expectations last year for the defense because everyone thought, all right, the Packers offense, real youngest offense ever and all that stuff. And the defense is going to hold it down. It didn't work out like that in every game, but I expect the defense to be good this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we're going to be just fine. And then some.
Yeah, I really do. Aaron says, "Just remember, Matt, the Bears still suck." All right. I don't know if I can say the rest of that, but here we go. Sideline reports, "I'm going to a game in Seattle, $500 for one ticket." Here's the thing. I will say to everyone, as someone who goes to a lot of Packer games, well, I won't say a lot, but like enough. A lot of people go way more than I do. But like if you buy the tickets like a Ticketmaster or one of those places, and you just like wait till like right before the game, not like the day of, but like a couple weeks, even like a week, like you can get like some good deals. But like if you want a specific seat, like you want to, I'm going there and I'm going to sit front row or I'm going to sit, then I get it. But like if you don't care where you sit, like you can get some deals. Like that's kind of what I do is I just wait till like that week. I'll buy a ticket anywhere, and I usually stand. I usually don't sit in my seat. I usually go and find like a standing spot. But that's what I've been doing the last couple of years, and it's a lot of fun to meet cool people. But $500 for a ticket is just crazy talk. But
Or you can go to Scalper's Row, right? Even on game day, because they get pressured in about a half hour before game day. They're trying to dump any tickets they do have in Scalper's Row between Stadium View and the stadium itself. So
I didn't
they're
know that
scalping
people
over
still
there.
did that because with the internet, like buying them online, I didn't know that they had even did that anymore.
Well, I've seen them there before.
Yeah. I guess I don't pay attention. I remember back in the day, people like, tickets, we got 4 tickets right here.
Yeah.
That's some good advice, Matt, because I'm driving to Seattle. Maybe I'll look the same day. Yeah. I think it's a good thing to do. It's just like if you have a specific seat, like area you want to be at, whatever, you got a big group. Like I get buying them early then, but like if you just want to try to wing it, at least give it a shot. I think you can save some moolah. You know what I mean? But
Driving to
yeah,
Seattle, that's like a 4-day drive.
yeah. It
That'll
depends
be a
where it's
long
from.
one.
But but we got OTAs right here. I don't really care about OTAs because it's just dudes just running around like doing stuff. I think it's cool like to see like where people are lined up or whatever, and it's cool to see like everyone showed up. And but like I don't get too worked up. But like training camp is the time to me. Like training camp is like one of the most fun things to do as a Packer fan. Like anyone who hasn't been to training camp, it's just so much fun.
Yep. Well, we'll have to hit 1 or 2 this year too. You and I.
I think I'm gonna take some vacation time so I can get because they're early. You know, I work till noon. Like they start practice at like 10:30. But like yeah, it's always a good time. Sideline report said that's like a 3-hour drive. 3-hour drive isn't bad. That's like going to Milwaukee or whatever.
Oh yeah, okay. Must live in Idaho or something.
Yeah, for
Montana.
us. Anyways. Tucker Kraft got married. There's some news for you.
Yep.
Saw that over there. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this. I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate everyone who tuned in. Be sure to like and all that good stuff, and share it if you want, and listen to the podcast. If you haven't already, you can download The Matt Emmett Show, Apple, Spotify, all the places. Be sure to listen to the podcast. And this season, we'll be doing a lot more content. I know I've been kind of slacking off lately. I've been working on my basement, doing some house stuff. But this time of year is like really boring for me. Like even like that draft, especially after the draft is done, there's really not a whole bunch to talk about. But we're gonna get back on this thing. And like after like when it starts getting close to training camp time, I'm gonna start doing 4 days a week live. We're gonna bring back the trivia for Cheesehead. I've been trying to bring that show back because I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I have my house stuff. I've been working on some stuff. But on the next couple of weeks, we'll be back at it. You know what I mean? And if you guys are on Instagram, be sure to follow Ivan Lars. If you can't find him, be sure to hit me up and I'll point you in the right direction. But he's the man, puts out some fun content. He's barbecuing, he's drinking beer, he's having a good time. You know what I mean?
Thank you, sir. You're a blast.
All right, go Pack, go. Big shout to Nicolay Law. If you ever hurt, in an accident and you need some help talking to the lawyers, be sure to check out nicolaylaw.com. And of course, sponsor the show, Quick Trip, where they're just, you buy beer, you get deals on gas. So check the Quick Rewards app, figure out how you can save some money on gas by getting hammered. You know what I mean? Go Pack, go. We're out of here.